first impression of Edward was he was a sharp dresser.
Oh, yeah.
Edward was a student in a class I taught last semester. He struck me as poised, very insightful and wise. And he was very compassionate as well, very kind to the other students and to me.
As a kid, for the most part, I followed him around. He's definitely a leader.
I grew up in retail where interview was one of the most important things you can do, and how you set the stage, how you shook a hand, how you spoke, the eye contact, and he exemplified every one of those things.
He had just mentioned offhand that he had been in the Gateway program, and I thought, oh, he must have done some time.
We grew up extremely poor. You know, naturally we wound up hanging out with other kids who were into drinking, drugs, things like that.
Unfortunately, I made a lot of decisions on my own as a cry for help. I was selling drugs and I was in a gang, and someone robbed my mom's apartment and I retaliated. It was foolish, it was immature, it was impulsive, and unfortunately retaliating against this gentleman led me to a 20-year sentence at 21 years old. That was my lifespan thus far, so I felt I'm never getting out of here. I could die in here. Honestly, as odd as it sounds, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it allowed me to look inside of myself and figure out what is going on inside of you that makes you do the things that you do.
Being in retail my whole life and being in different companies that we wouldn't voice it, but if someone had a criminal record, we didn't hire them. That's all there was to it.
Getting out of prison and trying to obtain gainful employment, it was hard hearing the word no, especially when it was things I was passionate about. It kind of knocks the breath out of you when you see equal opportunity, but you're not getting an equal opportunity.
Part of what I love about Goodwill, we gave him that extra chance, you know, when I think a lot of people, and he knocked on a lot of doors before it opened here. So that part of the mission, giving second chances, is what we're all about.
Initially, I was a donations attendant at South Broadway, and I started talking to Tim.
He didn't want to be donations forever. He wanted to move on. He had a passion to help people.
He said that there was an opportunity at headquarters, and I've been in the Good Electronics department since April of last year. Good Electronics allows people to comfortably recycle electronics, which includes data-bearing devices.
Edward's my assistant manager of operations. One of the best hiring decisions I've ever made.
When you juxtapose Edward, the sales supervisor, to Edward Smith, inmate 115194, that's my actual DOC number. It's a big contrast between the two because here it is, the guy who wore green outfits for 11 and a half years to, hey, can you count the safe? Audit the safe. Also, would you mind taking $200 to run down to King Soopers? We need some 20s.
Edward deserves so much applause, and I see him as a source of inspiration for a great many people.
To be sitting next to him, period, having the type of conversations that we have, talk about our kids, talk about the futures we want to create. It's, you know, a space that I thought I'd never be in.
To transition over those years to a young man that seems to put everybody else before him, those are the kind of people we want to serve. Those are the kind of people that we want to help lift up.
My son is gonna say, well, he can't talk yet, but if he could, he'd probably say, my dad is on the right track.
We are a stepping stone. Again, if we had turned the door on him when he came to me, he would never have gone to where he is right now. Even though we sell things, it's not about the retail part, it's about helping people.
Organizations like Goodwill that provide people a way to realize their potential and grow and then move into even greater pastures really play such an important and inspiring role in our society.
Goodwill gave me a second chance to prove that I am more than my faults and I can do something constructive to show my skill, to show my internal drive, to show my gratitude. For me, it's everything.